Hello. Hello, everybody. Sunday Adelaja here from Kyiv, Ukraine. I'm back after our leaders' school in the church. The whole of last week, I was not coming on live because I was coming on live really, but I was coming on live from the church. So I was not using the studio. So I am now back from the church, from the leadership class that we were doing, and now we can, come back to the studio again and resume our daily broadcast with an interview. And the first person I'm inviting today is from England. He's based in England, originally from Nigeria, and I'm really looking forward to hearing his story because this is the first time he's coming on the program to be interviewed like this with me. But meanwhile, let's go ahead and share the message with our friends and family members. Please, everyone, share. Go share the message with your friends and family, and let's tag people in the Facebook inbox, and also let's go ahead and share in the Facebook groups as well. So I have Edward here with me, and I'm going to introduce you to him now. Hello, Edward.
Hello. Well, good evening, good morning over there.
Yeah, it's actually evening. How are you doing?
Yes.
How is England?
Very well, thank you.
Yes, and I want to know how you came to get to know this platform and DSA.
The first time I ever listened to DSA, that I came across DSA, was on a program on Pastor Yemi Balogun.
Yes.
This was, I think it was around 2011. I think it was 2011, between 2010 and 2011. I think you came to England.
Yes.
For the history makers classes. I think that's what it was. And he had an interview on you on one of his programs.
Right.
He had a program on Revelation TV, and you came on, you had an interview, and that was the first time I came across you, to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you spoke about yourself.
I need to know about your impression from that meeting. What is it that stuck with you?
Well, I just thought to myself, well, this is totally different from the norm. This is different from what a lot of what we're used to with a lot of the Nigerian pastors, because before then I'd had a situation where I've been going around speaking to pastors. So what you were talking about on that interview was totally different from what I was used to. So it really created an impression on me, and I thought to myself, this is different. I need to follow this man and find out what this man is really about.
You remember what I was talking about at the program there? Do you remember what we were talking about?
Wow, it's been a long time.
Because what is it that is so different? How could you detect the difference?
The fact that you had the fact that you were an African coming from Nigeria as well. They say nothing good comes out of Nigeria. So the fact that you were Nigerian as well, and you were doing all these great works in Ukraine. I mean, I was never a supporter of the church. I've always been against the church. I have to be honest. I call myself an accidental hero when it comes to the church, because it was by accident that I fell into the whole Christian thing, But when I watched your interview and I heard you speaking and you talked about your church in Ukraine, and I think they had some pictures as well, and the things you were doing in Ukraine, and I saw your congregation were like maybe 90-something% European. I thought, wow, this has to be real, because I know you cannot sell the Ukrainians the sort of nonsense that's being sold to the Africans in African church.
You are absolutely right about that one.
I knew that straight away. Obviously, I've lived in Europe for a long time, so I know you cannot. I know only Africans can buy that nonsense. That let's get rich, and all that prosperity stuff. So I thought this is totally different. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not that the Europeans don't want to be prosperous. but it's not a do or die affair
Yeah.
like what our people do.
Yeah, it's a crap, a lot of crap coming from what they call gospel in Africa.
That's what it is, sir. So when I saw that, I thought to myself, this is different. This is not the norm. This is different from the norm, because a lot of the other pastors come from Nigeria, even in England here, and they set up churches, and it's all the same people going there, the same Nigerians going there, the same Africans going there, and I thought something was wrong. And I've always been against the prosperity teaching. I mean, I'm not against prosperity, but I believe it has to be prosperity for all.
Yeah.
You know, where one man
not just for the big man.
Not just for the big man. I mean, that cannot be right. You know, especially if the big man claims to be a man speaking for God.
Yeah.
It cannot be right. And I've studied the Bible so much that I know something is definitely wrong in the Nigerian Christian church. I mean, across the world, but especially in the Nigerian Christian church.
But Edward, don't you believe that your stay in England has really helped you to be able to think like this? Because you are thinking like it's so easy to understand this thing you are talking about. But back in your country, which is my country, you are originally from Nigeria, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Back in your country and my country, millions, I'm not saying thousands, millions are falling into the hands of these scammers, these religious cabals, these people that are telling and selling lies to people. Not one, not 1 million, not 2 million. Our whole country is buying into this fake.
Yes, yes. Even the so-called elect. Even the so-called elect, you know, with all our degrees and all the masters and all the PhDs, we seem to be falling for this thing, you know, and this thing is not of Christ. I mean, I had a situation where I had a spiritual awakening, I should call it that, you know. I don't want to say God told me and God told me. Let me just say my spirit led me. And I went around a lot of churches in England. And I was speaking, I met a lot of pastors. This was around 2006. So I've been on this way back, you know. And around before 2006, I didn't want to hear anything about Christ. I hated Christians, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
You know, because I thought they were hypocrites. You know, I just thought, you know, these people are a waste of time. They're just hypocrites, you know. They are praying every day and there's nothing coming out of the prayers. And when I look at the state of Nigeria, I mean, they say the proof is in the pudding. So when you look at the state of Nigerians and these people claim to be Christians, and then, you know, that alone tells you that something is obviously wrong.
Right.
Because you cannot claim to be followers of Christ and your country is in a mess. It doesn't work. So I went around a lot of churches, you know, the Spirit of God led me, and I went around a lot of churches, and I spoke to a lot of pastors, and as the Spirit ministered to me, I spoke to some of them, and I told them that, look, what you guys are doing, the doctrine you guys are feeding the flock is totally false. It is wrong, you know, and some agreed, some kicked me out of their churches, told me to get out of their churches, you know, some were in agreement with me, you know, some actually called some other members of their churches and said, listen, come and listen to what this guy is saying. I know at that time, I heard my spirit. I don't know when we had the conversation, I told you I had my spirit.
Now I remember you, Edward.
Yes. You know, you speak to so many people.
Yes. now I do remember you.
Now you remember, yeah. Yeah, it was I mean, from somebody that never cared about the church, that never cared about Christianity, because, you know, I know a lot of Christians. Obviously, being a Nigerian, I had a lot of Christians around me, you know. I'm being from the southern part of Nigeria as well. So there was a lot of Christians around me. So, but their attitude, their character, you know, when I studied the Bible, I realized, wait, what this Jesus is teaching is different from what these people are doing. It was opposite. So when I had my situation when I met a young Christian lady, and she said I had to do the work of God. It's a long story anyway, but I just thought, okay, something happened, something took over, and the Spirit of God led me, and I left everything I was doing.
I think that your conversion story is so significant that you cannot just brush it out. That is too much, because the way you went seeking God, only God could do that, and people still need to hear this story that God can still walk like this. So if you don't mind, go into more details about your encounter, I mean, about your background of not being interested in church, not liking Christians, and then how that happened, that transformation and the passion with which you came to God. And, you know, and you are taught by God. You are somebody like Apostle Paul. You are taught by God himself. So, you know, that story is going to be an edification to a lot of people, please.
Okay, I'll try and make it as brief as possible because I know time and all that. So basically, you know, growing up as a young man, I've never been into church. I was never one to attend church. I never cared about church. You know, Christianity was never really my thing. I just believed, you know, do your best, be good. That was my motto. Just be good. Yeah, as long as you're good, then that's good enough for God. I never believed you had to go to church to go and pray and all that. Anyway, so I grew up, you know, a young man in England running my own little business. I had a young lady. I had a restaurant at the time. I was running a restaurant at the time, and I had a young lady working for me. She was a cook in a restaurant. And I had a situation, and she said, look, Edward, I'll introduce you to a priestess from Nigeria. So this woman can do some prayers.
But at what age did you leave Nigeria?
I think I left Nigeria first. Well, last time I left Nigeria was about 14.
You are age 14?
14, 15, yeah, around 15, 14,
My God.
yeah.
So young.
Then I came to England, and that was the second time I left. I'd left before then. So this lady came, and she said, I have somebody that wants to pray for you, that can pray for you. So I told her, look, you know, I don't like all these Christian things. I'm not interested in all this Christianity. And she was like, please, I know you don't like it. I know you don't want to hear it, but please just hear me out. You have to see this woman. So I went to go and see this woman, and this woman prayed for me, and she said, you'll do the work of God. So I said to her, look, I don't believe in your God. I don't believe in your Christ. I'm not interested. And she said, look, that is what I've been told to tell you.
So you are coming there as an unbeliever, and this lady opened the door, you came in, and she was prophesying to you that you are going to serve God.
To me, yes. And I went there under duress. I didn't want to go there, but I just went there just to go and hear what this woman had to say, out of respect for the elderly lady that was cooking for me in my restaurant. Because she was an elderly lady, so she begged me, because I had some crisis. So she begged me to come to this woman and let this woman pray for me, because this woman had just come from Nigeria. She was just visiting. She didn't have a church in England. She was just visiting England, you know. So I went to go and see this woman, and she said, look, you have to do the work of God, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, I'm not interested. I like my life the way it is. And then she said, okay. She said, okay, I'm not going to force you. You can go, but I guarantee you will come back to me. So I said, okay, no problem. So I left. Yeah, so I left. 2 days later, I came back and I said, look, I put my hands up. I'm ready to do this work of God. And that was how I came. And so strange. I used to smoke then. I used to smoke cigarettes and all that then. She said, okay, since you're ready. Now, the funny thing about this woman is this woman couldn't really read and write.
Wow.
She couldn't really read and write. She could hardly even read the Bible.
Wow.
It's like one word at a time.
Glory to God.
You understand? But, you know, she was a good, her prayers were good.
Yeah.
But now
she knew God. She had relationship with God.
She knew God, you know. So when I went back, she said, okay, God said I should, it's not anointing I'm looking for. Oh, the word just escaped my mind.
Ordain.
Ordain, yes. She said, God said I should ordain you as a man of God. So I was like, but I don't know nothing about it. Very strange, I tell you, sir. Very, very strange. So
and you are the smoker, the party guy.
I was smoking. I even told the woman, look, I smoke and I do all that. And she said, and she said to me, don't worry about that. When the time comes, God will take all that away. And that's what she said to me. And she did her ordination and everything. And then 2 days later, she had to go back to Nigeria.
Wow.
So I said to her, but what am I supposed to do? You've just finished ordaining me. What do I do? She said, well, God said I should tell you that he will teach you himself.
Wow.
That you don't need to go to any church or anything, that he will teach you himself. All he wants me to do is just to pour oil on you, and he will teach you himself.
You see, this is the kind of testimonies that people should hear. That God sent a woman from Nigeria just to meet with him. Yeah, saw him and said, this is the person. Because she had said that, he didn't say that today, but he had said that God told that woman that is somebody I want you to pray for and ordain before you go. So different people were coming to her.
Yes, said, different people were coming to their house to visit her, and God would say, no, this is not the person, this is not the person. And when I came in,
and here comes the party boy, smoker, restaurant owner. And God said, this is the person ordained him. Yes. And she didn't say, because if it had been today, you know what Nigerian pastors would have done? They would have said, ordain him for my church, pastor my church, pastor my church, open a branch for me. And be bringing me tithe and offering. You see, this is the wrong concept. But the lady just obeyed God. I mean, ordained an unbeliever person and laid hands on her. Just says, God will teach you.
Yes, as soon as I walked into her room to see her, she got on her knees and she started thanking God. So she was thanking God, and I was wondering, why is this woman thanking God when I walked in? And she said, because as soon as I walked in, God said, this is the guy I want you to ordain. So she did everything she had to do. She showed me a few verses in the Bible, and a few days later, she had to go back to Nigeria. And I said to her, but what do? I don't know what to do. I don't go to church. I don't know how to read the Bible. I don't know how to pray. And she was like, but there's nothing I can do. This is what God said I should do. And a few days later, she went back to Nigeria and she left me. But something happened. She told me a time will come that you will pray for like 3 days and you will not eat. You will pray and pray and pray and you will not eat, just praying. And you won't believe. After she left, maybe 2 weeks after that, something just came into me. It's like the Spirit of God took total control of me. I started to pray. I was praying, I was fasting. This was things I've never done before in my life. I'd never fasted. I was praying and I was fasting and I was praying. Now, I was living in London at the time. And then I left the business. The business was not doing too well eventually anyway, so I closed it down. But it looks like, how God orchestrates things. That business was just as a purpose for me to meet up with this woman. Glory to God. Yes. So the business closed, and then God moved me. The Spirit of God moved me from London to Newcastle. And I was in Newcastle. Newcastle is on the north of England, closer to Scotland. And I was in Newcastle for about 6 months. And I was in Newcastle for 6 months, and all I did in Newcastle was pray and fast.
Wow.
Pray and fast for 6 months.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir. For 6 months, all I was doing was
no church, no pastor, nothing.
No church, no pastor, nothing, nobody. Just praying and fasting, studying the Bible, studying the Word, praying, fasting, just for myself. At the time, I had a lady friend whom has subsequently gone on to be my wife now. She was the one teaching me how to pray and how to pray at the time because I didn't know how to pray.
Wow.
But no pastor and everything, and God was and things were being revealed to me and all that. And for that 6 months, I was filled with so much strength and so much power. And then I heard a voice say to me, you have to go back to London and visit a lot of churches and tell the pastors that what they are doing is wrong and a time is going to come. This was in 2006. Yes, sir.
You heard the voice of God after praying for 6 months and fasting like that?
Yes.
That go and tell the pastor. Not today, not today that I'm doing
this is in 2006, summer 2006.
So this thing, God has been,
He's been on it.
Because people hear about me today and Daddy Freeze and Mayowa and others and think that it is just today that the thing is starting.
No. 2006, summer 2006. And I went into London And
which
I
means
remember
God has
when
been trying to get the attention of
Yes.
all these pastors.
He's been trying to get their attention. I mean, look, I was a nobody. Remember, I was not a Christian.
You are from the party. You are from the discotheque.
Yes, yes.
And God took you from there.
Yes, and you see, when God wants to do His thing, I mean, for somebody that was not really a Christian, that was not really part of the clique, so to speak. When He wants to use, He has to use somebody that thinks outside the box. You understand? So what He did with me, when He sent me, He took me, did what He had to do in 6 months, and sent me into the deep end. Because telling me to go and meet pastors was going into the deep end. That was me going to challenge people that have been pastors for 20 years, 30 years, 15 years, 10 years, and I had to go and meet these people. And I started by going to.
So you just behave like a baby, like a kid. God said it, you believed it.
I just obeyed. Yes. I called the lady. I called the lady that did the ordination. She was in Nigeria. I called her. I said, "Listen, this is what I'm hearing in my spirit." And she said, "If that's what God is telling you, you cannot disobey. That's what you have to do." So I got into my car, drove back to London, and I started driving from church to church every weekend and every evening to all their evening services. Yes. Yes.
You just obeyed like a...
I just obeyed. Sir. And that's why you see, when I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, why don't you go and talk to them? Why don't we talk to them?" God has been sending people to talk. At least I'm a witness. I spoke to them face to face. You understand, sir? I actually...
Because people come on, you are so right. People come on almost every week to challenge me. Why don't you tell them? Why don't... I'm sure they're telling my wife the same thing. Why don't you go and talk one-on-one? Why don't you write a letter? Why don't you talk to them? Why talk on Facebook? Why this and that?
Because God has been sending people to talk to them from time. At least I'm a witness. I have journals that I wrote down from 2006. I was driving from church to church, stopping at different churches, especially African churches, speaking to pastors. Sometimes I'll go to some churches and the pastors will sit me down and say, "Man of God, we can see what's going on. This is what's happening. What can we do?" Sometimes there's business centers and there's about maybe 6, 7 churches in one little business center. And if I'm talking, yes, that's what they, yeah. And I'm talking to a pastor and he'll say to me, "Can you believe that I don't even know the name of the pastor down the road?" And I was like, "But this is not." So I was telling them what God showed me. I'll show them verses in the Bible and say, "Look, you guys need to come together and you need to stop this prosperity teaching. It is wrong." I know the Spirit of God kept telling me to tell them as well that a time will come when what's happening now, that what's happening now was going to happen. But at that time, I didn't believe it because I was the only one. I was lonely. There was nobody else. Everybody thought I was crazy. Family thought I was crazy. Friends thought I was crazy. So it was a lonely journey. So I started first by...
So God told you that a time is coming.
Yes.
That voices will start fighting against
that
this.
Descending voices will increase.
If they don't change.
Yes. So when I saw this happening now, it's amazing to me because these were the things that God was showing me those days since 2006, that this time will come. Because when I went to those pastors and I was speaking to them, I told them, one of the things I told them before I leave was, the time is going to come where judgment is going to come upon you guys if you don't change your ways. And I started, the funny thing is I started with little churches because I was afraid. At first I was a bit fearful because I'm thinking, these guys are going to eat me raw, So I started by going to little churches. At first, maybe in a week, I'll go to the little pastors, speak to them. Then I'll hear in my spirit, "No, you need to go to bigger churches." Then I'll go to bigger churches till I met up with Matthew Achimolowo, who was the biggest pastor in England at the time. So, they didn't come any bigger than him. And I met up with him and I gave him the same message that, look, if you don't change what you're teaching, God said I should tell you that you're stealing from the people and what you're teaching is wrong.
No, you said you met with him?
I met with him face to face. We spoke face to face, and I told him, one day you're going to remember I told you this thing. I met him face to face in his church.
So you told him this?
Yes, in his church, face to face.
Face to face, since what year?
2006, summer 2006.
You told this to
I told him
Matthew
face-to-face,
Ashimolowo face to face
yes.
that he was stealing
I told him he was still, yes.
from the people.
Face to
And
yes.
that God was going to.
And I told him God was going to deal with him, that he should change his ways, and the time is going to come when they will all be exposed in 2006.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir.
This God is patient, so he's patient, oh.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now is 2018, like 12
Yes.
years has passed.
12 years.
In fact,
yes.
please,
yes.
let's go and share this message. Everybody that is watching right now,
12 years.
I want to challenge you. Please share. Let's go share this message, because this is, you see, it's so nice. It's so great that God brought you. And, you know, and thank God that you went to that part of the story, because we need the detailed story of these things. And maybe not everybody, you know, would have heard of or had the opportunity to hear someone who actually did it. It is one thing for us to know. I just know by faith that I'm sure God must have sent somebody. But there is no way I will know that. But for you now to be coming online and say, I actually met with them one by one.
Sir, I have the journals. I have the dates. I have the books. I have everything. God had to tell you it was a unique story. You understand? God did not send me to set up any churches or whatever. It was so unique that I met a lot of redeemed pastors, a lot of the big redeemed pastors. I met pastors from Mountain of Fire. I met pastors from Winners Chapel. Because after a while, the boldness I got as the days were going by, the more I was going to the churches, the more I became bolder. I was getting bolder and bolder, and as I was getting bolder, I was going to the big churches, and I was speaking to all the pastors and telling them, you guys have to change your ways. The day of judgment is coming upon you. God is not happy with you. And I told them, and I met Ashimolowo in 2006, and I spoke to him face to face, and I told him, listen, if you don't change your ways, the time is coming when the judgment will come upon you. And you won't believe it, sir. When I was doing all this, I didn't even know what I was doing. All I know is some spirit was leading me and guiding me to tell these men that they were wrong. Because I knew it was wrong. But to have the boldness to do that, it was so much that a time comes after a while, after I've done all that, then what next? I'm sitting down after doing all that, going around to all the churches. Like I said,
and nobody was receiving you, obviously.
Nobody was receiving me. I met a few people received me. There was a few people that received me and said, wow, you're truly from God, because, you know, this, you know, what's happening in the church is wrong. There were some pastors that kicked me out of the church that said, get out of my church, and I left. Yes, I'm not going to lie. There were pastors that kicked me out of their church, and then there were pastors that actually received me and called, you know, some of their junior pastors and said, listen, come and listen to what this man is saying.
And God took this guy from the nightclubs to do this, from the restaurants.
I was a hustler on the street. Yeah, let me just be honest. I'm not here to lie to anybody or to sugarcoat anything. I had nothing to do with the church. I was just a man doing my business, minding my business, hustling on the street. To show you how much it was, after I finished that journey of going to all the churches,
you were a hustler on the street of London.
Yeah, I was just a guy hustling.
God sent somebody from Nigeria.
Yes.
This God,
God is all. He's
who
awesome.
Just stayed a few days in London, and she said, God sent me to somebody, and people were coming in to see her. And God said, no, I've not seen the person. Then comes an unbeliever who was having problem with his business. God used that and the problem with his business as a trap, as a whatever you call it, bait.
Yes.
And, you know, God brought him in, and the woman fell down, started saying, this is the person. And the person guy was smoking, he was still a chain smoker, you know, maybe a worldly person just living his own life.
Yes.
I said, I don't believe in God. I don't go to church. I hate Christians. He said, no, but you are the one. God wants me to pray for you. Go. And said, don't go to church. You don't need pastor. You don't need church. Go and seek God. And the guy, he gets, I'm not interested in this. The woman went back. 2 weeks later, the burden for prayer came upon him. He started seeking God, praying until he had to leave the city, go to another one to seek God for 6 months. praying, seeking the face of God for 6 months, and then God gave him instruction, go and warn my church.
Yes.
And you are now saying what we are doing right now, we are antichrist?
Nah.
This is the judgment of God against these churches.
I know, because when I saw what you were doing, anytime I see people speaking up, that's why I called you. Even my wife called her once or twice. I called to encourage. Why I called to encourage is because I've been through this. I know that it is real. I know that what's happening now is what God has been. Do you know how many times I got upset and I said I'm not interested again, and I'll get angry at God and say, why did you even interrupt my life? Leave me with the life I was living. Why did you put this burden on me? Because it was a heavy burden. At one time, there was a time, I think it was around, because what would happen was God would send me on an errand. Then I would go quiet for a while and everything would be slow. Then he would send me on another errand. I mean, he actually sent me. That's why the likes of ANEGBEH and the man from Winners, they know all these things, because God actually sent me once to Alfred Williams. I don't know if you've heard of Apostle Alfred Williams.
Yes.
Okay. I had a meeting with them. That's why when they all talk, I know them all. I've seen a lot of them. I know them all because I saw many faces. I actually went to go and meet him. God sent me to meet him to tell him that, look, what's happening in the church is wrong. Now, because I didn't have access to show you how wonderful and how beautiful God is, because I didn't have access to ANEGBEH and the man from Oyedepo, because I didn't have access to those people, the week I went to go and see Alfred Williams, I was with Alfred Williams for about an hour. We had a meeting for about an hour, and I was telling him all these things that, look, God is not happy. You guys buying all these private jets and private universities are supposed to, everything God was unhappy with. That weekend, the week I went to go and sing, that weekend he was having a meeting with ANEGBEH. ANEGBEH was coming into the country. So I said, well, I don't have the access, but this is a message for you. It's as if God knew that you were going to have a meeting with this man. So I'm passing it on to you for you to take to him, to let him know that a man came to come and visit you, and this is a message for him. You understand? And he assured me that he would let ANEGBEH know what was going on. And he actually told me himself that when he looks at what is happening in the church, that he's a bit sad, because he knows that what's going on is wrong. And that he tries to tell his friends that what they're doing is wrong. And these are things I can say boldly, because this is what happened for real. You understand? So it's been an amazing journey.
Yeah, but that is very discouraging. Okay, right now it's a bit easier because you have so many of us talking on Facebook, and you have somebody like myself that is a little bit known, leading the campaign, and so it's a bit easier now. But when you are the lonely voice, like John the Baptist, just by yourself, I mean, that probably would have been challenging, and it would have been easier for you to be discouraged.
Sir, I was discouraged. I mean, I remember I had some certificates done for me, like some ordination certificates.
Yeah, so that maybe if you have that, maybe they will receive or accept you.
I got to a stage where I used to sit down and tear them, because I didn't want to have anything to do with Christianity. I didn't want to have anything to do with
Because you are so broken, you are so discouraged.
Because I was broken, there was nobody else that was listening to me. I was like a lonely voice. There was nobody else. So there were times where I'll go back to my old ways, and I'll be like, look, I'm not interested in this thing. I don't understand what's going on in my life. It was a very lonely time.
Like Elijah, discouragement.
Yes, there were times, I think in 2012 or 2013, I used to post some things on Facebook, and a lot of guys I went to school with, I lost friends, a lot of people were against me, and I stopped. I have to be honest, and I stopped, and I said, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. Since 2006, God has been using me on and off, and I just thought, you know what, I'm not doing this no more. I've had enough. But you know what happened when I started to hear about Daddy Fuits end of last year, and then I started to hear the things that you're saying, and then different people started to come up. To be honest, I became the happiest man in the world. Because what it meant is all the things that God sent me to do, all the things that the Spirit led me to do was not a waste, because I'm seeing people are coming out now. A lot of people are talking now. A lot of people, a lot of dissenting voices, and it's just amazing. So I see that all the things I went through then from 2006 up to now was not a waste. Remember, up to now, I'm not really a church person. I still don't go to church. I've never been a church person. Okay, I've been to church maybe once or twice, just to meet.
You see, what you are saying now, for a Nigerian Christian, it's like a shock. I mean, people write me almost on daily basis trying to challenge my concept that you don't have to go to church. You don't get saved by the church. I tell people, when I hear about Nigerian Christians and they tell me I don't go to church anymore, then I know you are really a Christian.
Yes.
But as long as you say you are a Christian and you are still going to those places, especially those other places, I just keep quiet. I respect your choice, but I know you are not for real. I mean, you can't be for real and sit in some of those places with an open conscience. Those Nigerian churches, I don't know of others, but those ones, no.
I mean, once or twice while I was in England, while I was going through my journey, and I was not sure, and obviously there were times I got confused, I have to be honest, because I was the only one. So when I met up with pastors and I was telling them what they were doing was, so I joined one or two churches, but I could never sit there for more than 2-3 services.
Wow.
Because I end up falling out with the pastors, we end up in argument, and because I'm constantly saying, look, what you're saying is wrong, this is not what it is wrong. So it was just crazy. That journey led me to meet a man that you know very well, Bishop Olaleye, who is a man that I respect.
Real man, great guy.
Yeah, I met him in England. And then when I went to Nigeria, we met in Nigeria as well. I went to his church a few times, but I've never been able to sit in the church for a long time, because for me, it's like when you're in grade 1. From grade 1, you must graduate to grade 2. Yeah. From grade 2, you must go on to grade 3. You cannot sit in the same place for 30 years of your life, coming in every day, and you're not growing. It's madness. You have to at least, because for me, when you go to church, a lot of our people don't study the scriptures. I even say to people, okay, if it's too hard for you to study the Old Testament, leave the Old Testament. Study the teachings of Christ. That's
why I started to write. If you notice, people will notice, you will see that I started to write books on churches. All different kinds of books on churches. So I write all these books. Okay, you see them on the screen now. Books on churches and all that. And the reason is because I just discovered that people don't have an idea what church is about. You know what I normally say here about our church in Ukraine? That my dream is to get rid of the people from the pew. Get rid of the church. You've sat here for long. If you have been here for 6 months, you are ready to go. If you have been here for 6 months, it's enough for you to begin to go and find your own promised land and begin to dominate it for God. Go do something. It didn't say go sit in the church. It said go ye therefore. It didn't say sit ye. It didn't say sit ye therefore. It said go ye therefore. But what you are saying, for me, it's a confirmation that this is in line with the next move of God. The future move of God is going to be God having personal relationship with people. People having personal relationship with God. Yes. In their homes, at their workplace, in their daily life. They love God more than anything else. Yes. They are in love with God. They are in intimacy with God. They love God and they walk with Him. Church is we are the church. We are the temple.
Yes,
church is not in building. Yeah. But in my country today, people still think that you've got to go to a building or some fellowship. Yeah. But if when you have your wife and your children, that is already a fellowship. That's anywhere you are is a fellowship.
Yes. It doesn't have to be 1,000 people.
So for someone like you that God picked out, and He didn't make you religious or church person, but He had a commission for you. And this is the future, the way things are going to be. People are going to have personal relationship with God. They are going to obey Him. And they don't necessarily need to become members of some churches where they are being manipulated, where they are being brainwashed, and where they are being turned into zombies.
Yes, I mean, look, the greatest disappointment for me, is a lot of our people come from Africa. Now, when you come into the West and you can see how people have evolved, I mean, the Europeans, look, there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
What's happening to Africa today has happened before
Yes.
in Europe. And they revolted against it.
Yeah.
But because we refuse to study, if you study, you would know that the fact that the revolt, I mean, the Industrial Revolution started after
The Reformation.
the revolution.
Yes.
Yes. So when you see what happened in Europe, then our people should use their minds to think, wait a minute, these guys revolted against this thing for them to grow. Because the church system, the religious organization was set up to make sure that people don't grow beyond what they're supposed to.
Slave camp.
Yes.
Slave camp.
That's what it is. It's a slave camp. That's what it is. But our people come from Africa, come into the West and continue to go to these slave camps, and I don't understand it. And you can see all around you that the European doesn't go to church. He doesn't go to church, but when you go to a shop, they know how to treat you well. They know how to provide things for their people. So you're supposed to learn and evolve. What's happened with our people? We refuse to evolve from where we were. You understand? So we're not growing. That's why we've become the laughing stock of the world, because other people look at us and say, you guys go to church every day and you're not changing. There's nothing changing. Your attitude is not getting better. You know, we spend a lot of our time showing off to each other. We spend, you know, social media is supposed to be like what you do on social media is supposed to be a tool of social change. But I find that Nigerians use it more to show off, to show their clothes, to show their cars, all the wrong things. You know, all the wrong things. It's meant to be a tool. I mean, countries in Europe have used social media to bring about change in their nations. You understand? Why can't we do that? Why? But you know, this mentality, this church mentality of tell your neighbor you'll be better than them. Why do you want to be better than your neighbor? So they bring it into their everyday life. You understand? So this is a problem that we have, you know. So, you know, that mentality of trying to be better than somebody else. You don't need to be better than somebody else. What we need to do as a people is build a society where there's something for everybody, where every man has a certain amount of dignity. I mean, we are here in Europe. I mean, not everybody in Europe is a millionaire. We're not all going to be millionaires. We're not all going to be billionaires. But at least there's more than enough for everybody to be comfortable. And this is what life is all about.
Yeah.
Because even the rich man needs somebody to build his house.
Yeah.
You understand? The richest man in the world has a driver.
Yeah.
But then it's making sure that that driver is treated with respect and paid a good wage so he can feed his family. I mean, here in Europe, you have garbage men that buy houses.
Yeah.
You have gardeners that live well.
Yeah.
You understand? So we need to bring about dignity in labor. What's happened to our people is we've gotten ourselves into this situation where if you're not a doctor, you're not a lawyer, you're not an engineer, you're nobody. This mindset has to go. You know, that mindset of you must be a lawyer, you must be a doctor, you must be an engineer before you notice. That mindset, we have to remove that mindset from our people. But the problem is the churches are not helping the situation, because the churches keep telling you that everybody is meant to be a millionaire. We're not all going to be millionaires, and that's just the simple fact.
Yeah.
But we can build a society that's comfortable for everyone. The prosperity should be for everyone. I mean, I'm here in England, you're there in Ukraine, there's our people that live across the world. A lot of them are not millionaires, but they're comfortable.
Yeah.
And this is what we need in Nigeria. So the church, I always say to people a lot of the times that the biggest problem we have in Nigeria is the religious establishment.
Yeah.
Because remember, the religious establishments control the mind. And whoever controls the mind controls the masses.
Oh.
And your mind is very powerful. That's why you see the religious leaders are more powerful than political leaders in Africa. Because they can get money from you. Our people would rather pay tithes than pay taxes.
Yeah.
Because they're more afraid of going to hell than the politicians sending them to prison for not paying their taxes. There you go. You know, so our mindset needs to change as a people. We need to change our mindset. This whole the fact is, whether we like it or not, eventually the church system as it is today will become obsolete in Nigeria. It's just a matter of time. Because people are waking up slowly. It's an awakening. And with somebody like you with your platform, and then you have the likes of Daddy Freeze. I mean, look at Maiwa. I remember when she started with you. Now she's all over the place. You understand? So, you know, so you can see that people are hungry. People want to know. And the pastors are not doing themselves any justice. They're throwing themselves in it deeper. So everybody can see it's all about money for them. It's not about, creating a better society for Nigerians. It's all about what they can gain from the masses that come to their churches, really.
Now, why you not tempted? Because when you get to a situation like that, it's easy to be tempted to want to join them. If you cannot change them, join them. Because that is the pressure that comes on a lot of them. And you see that most people in Nigeria now are copying one another. They are doing what every other person is doing. Because they say we cannot beat them, so we join them. So when you were the lonely voice all these years, how did you fight that pressure? How did you fight that depression? Because it's quite depressive.
Yes, I mean, first things first, I was never tempted to join them because I knew deep down in my heart that what they were doing was wrong.
Wow.
Never ever one day was.
So it is possible to stand for the truth.
Oh yeah, I knew deep down in my heart that what they were doing was wrong. I knew that. So joining
you
them,
would rather go back to the world than join them.
Yes.
So what is the excuse our people are then having to say everybody is doing it, so we are doing it?
Nah, that's a lame excuse. That's a lame excuse. I would rather go back and do whatever it is I'm doing than join them in what they're doing, because I don't want power over anybody. You see, a lot of Nigerians become pastors because they want power. Pastors. That's how it is in Nigeria. You understand? So I don't want power over anybody. I don't want to lord it over anybody. I don't want to be necessarily better than everybody. I just want everybody to live their lives and be happy.
Wow.
You understand? So for me, joining them has never been part of me. Thinking, okay, I went to a lot of churches to go and speak to them, and I had pastors that would say to me, oh, come and join my ministry. Come and join my ministry. And I refused. And I told them no, because I disagree with what you're preaching. You understand? So for me, it was never about that. It's not about power. I don't want to be anybody's, I don't want to control nobody's life. Let everybody live their life as they want, as long as everybody is happy. And as long as you don't do anything to hurt anybody. That's my main focus. So it wasn't about joining them or about them. There's people out there that don't go to church and make more money than Christians.
Yes.
So if it's about money, you don't have to be a Christian to make money.
Yeah.
Some of the richest people in the world are not Christians. You understand? So it's not about money. But the pastors fool them by telling them that if they come to Christ, they will make money. But some of the richest people in the world are not Christians.
Yeah.
You understand? So, and you don't have to be a Christian to live a righteous life. And this is the truth. We have to be honest. I think our people have been lied to for so long. And because they don't study, the worst thing is to come out of Nigeria. Okay, I can understand maybe living in Nigeria, you're not exposed to so many things. But then when you come out of Nigeria and you come into the West and you see different faiths, different,
even
races.
Unbelievers, even people who don't believe in God.
Yeah.
And they're even doing better than those of us who believe in God in Africa.
Yes, and they're doing well, and they're living good, and they're looking after each other. Come on, what else do you need to see? But then you come from Nigeria and you still carry this churchy mentality on your head, and you still tell people everybody must be. Look, for me personally, I think because most of my family are Christians, so I think that is why my experience was a Christian experience. I'm not one to really sit down and say to people, this might be going against the grain, but I have to be honest. I'm not one to say to people, oh, you must all have to be Christians to behave well, because I've lived in the West, and I've seen that there are people that live in the West that are not Christians and are doing good things for people. And are living the Christian life. They're out there every day doing charitable things and doing things to better the lives of people. And I've seen Christians that go to church from Monday to Sunday and they don't care about their neighbor. So for me, it's not about that. For me, it's a collective coming together to build a better world and a better society. Because I always say to a lot of Nigerians, if Christianity was so good for us in Nigeria, or what our pastors were so doing in it, then why are we living in Nigeria and coming to places where we say, oh, Yoruba man? Nigerians will be quick to tell you, Yoruba man don't know God. But if they live Nigeria where there's no, and then you're coming to the Yoruba man for a better life. So obviously the Yoruba man, the Europeans must be doing something right. Otherwise, you won't come and live in their country. Because it's like you saying your house is the best house, but then you're going to another man's house for peace of mind. It doesn't make sense. You understand what I'm saying, sir? It doesn't make sense. So the way I see it is our people need to evolve. We need to start to wake up. We need to start to change our mind. We need to start to study. You see, I'm a student of history as well. So I've come to understand that our surgeon into into Europe is not necessarily for financial gains. I think this is part of the mistake we make. Sometimes it's to acquire knowledge to take back home to benefit our people. Because this is what they did. What they did was they came into, if you study the history, they came into our land, studied, got a lot of knowledge, and came back. Because remember, the Greeks, who are the father of Western democracy, learned everything they know from Egypt. It's there in the books. It's not me making it up. It's there in Google. You can study it. I'm a student of history. So they went there to learn, and then they took what they learned from there and brought it back to Europe and built Europe. So we coming to the West, we're supposed to come here, take back some knowledge, take back home, and build home. And that's why you find that a lot of the people that will bring about change in Africa have to be us that have been opportune to leave the shores of Africa to come into the West, to learn certain things, gather some knowledge, and then take back home. I mean, look, we're here now, we're online, using the internet. If I was in Nigeria, maybe this line would have broken up a few times.
Yeah.
But in the West, internet is cheap. There's good internet, it's cheap. So we have an opportunity to gather as much information as we can to take home, to teach our people and change their mindset, because knowledge is a lot of wealth. Because you can have material gains and don't have the knowledge, and you don't know what to do with your material wealth. But then if you have knowledge, you can go home and you can impart that knowledge into your people and change their lifestyle and change the way they think and help them to evolve,
After your encounter with God in England,
Yes,
did you try to carry this message to Nigeria?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And believe me, it was one of the toughest things I ever did. It got to a stage where,
Wow.
yeah, I did.
So it's tougher in Nigeria with Nigerian churches in Nigeria than even in England.
I took it to Nigeria. I spoke to a few people in Nigeria. I went to a few churches, not as much as in England, but I went to a few, and nobody listens to you in Nigeria. At least here in England, when I went to some churches in England, some members of churches heard me speaking to their pastors. And when I was leaving, they would come and meet me outside and say to me, "Oh, you know what you're saying is true." Obviously they didn't want their pastor to hear, but they would say to me, "What you're saying is true. We've been thinking about it." Yeah. We've been thinking about this thing. But in Nigeria, they're not interested. As far as they're concerned, you are the devil. They're not interested.
They are only interested in what their pastor is saying.
Their pastors become their God. They're not interested in what you have to say. They're not interested at all. All they want is, you see, all Nigerians respect is money. They're not interested in your information. But let me not say all, because that might be me doing an injustice to Nigerians. But most Nigerians are all about money. Money is their God. You can come with all the information you want. You can come with all the knowledge you want. If you're not showing them money, they are not interested. They are not interested. That's why sometimes you have to feel sorry for these people, because our people really have lost it. They really would need a major revolution to change the mindset of our people, because money has become a god in Nigeria. There's no morals. The moral standard in Nigeria is so bad. I went to Nigeria and I thought, okay, the Nigeria I left as a child was a Nigeria of high moral standards.
Yes.
But the Nigeria I went back to, sir, Nigeria is worse than any European country, believe me.
Wow.
The moral standard is so low. They're not God, money is their God. That's all they want to know. They're not interested in anything else. Just show us the money. That's all they need to see. They're not interested. That's why the pastors are able to get away with the messages, and the politicians they have are able to do the things they're doing, because it's all about money. So everybody's looking for their opportunity. Make my time come so I can eat that money too. Basically, that's what it's about for these people. It's about money.
I'm so happy you are saying these things.
Yes, they're not. The Nigerians are not interested. They're not interested in your knowledge. When you finish speaking, they'll listen to you. But when they finish speaking, they'll say, "Ah, I better come on for here." And the money would they look for? They're not interested. These are people that they're far gone. The worst thing that happened to us is a prosperity doctrine.
That's the worst thing.
Doctrine is the worst thing that happened to our people. It destroyed the minds of our people. It's the worst thing that's happened to us.
Are you serious?
We have to get rid of it. Yeah, and you know, our people are not bad. You know, because I remember as a young child in Nigeria, I don't think Nigerians are bad, but the prosperity doctrine was brought in by an evil spirit. It's destroyed our people.
Are you serious?
Yes, it's that bad. It's that bad. That's why pastors can come and tell you there's nothing wrong in them having beautiful things, and people will clap for them. I mean, have you ever asked yourself why you would listen to the likes of, you know, some of the charlatans that you've shown and people clap for these people? You know, I've imagined a man is stealing and people are clapping for that man. Let me tell you the worst thing I noticed about Nigeria, sir. You know, in Nigeria, when you do bad things, they call you sharp guy. Sharp guy means you're supposed to be a clever guy. When you do good, they call you mumu. So when you're a good person in Nigeria, if you're not stealing money, you're not doing bad things, you're a slow person. When you're doing bad things, you're stealing money, you're living large, you're oppressing people, you're a sharp guy. You see, their mindset is back to front.
Because of this message of quick, instant gratification.
Yes. So they glorify evil things, they glorify bad things over good things. So, you know, you live in a society where to be good, if you were in a position, let me say you had a government position and you were not stealing money, you'd be mumu. But if you're stealing money, you're a sharp guy. If you're doing bad things on the road, you're a sharp guy, which means you're a sensible person. If you're cheating people, you're a sharp guy. If you're robbing people, you're a sharp guy. But if you're doing good and you're saying, no, we can't live like this, let's do good things, and look at you as you don't know what you're doing. You're a slow person. You're not a sharp guy. So you see, their mindset.
That miracle message. Just come, get it. Instant gratification. It has killed our society.
It's destroyed our society. So we have a uphill struggle, you know. But the truth is, these pastors must go. They must go, you know, because that was my calling. You know, my calling all along has been against what's happening now. These pastors have brought something into Nigeria that's really infected us. It's become a virus. It's become a cancer in our society. And how we're going to get rid of it, I don't know. But at least I see God is doing great work, you know, with people rising up, with dissenting voices. I can see there's something happening. There's an awakening. So, you know, I'm excited. You know, I'm excited about these times, you know, and I just pray that, you know, one day.
So when you went to Nigeria, you said the people were not interested in listening to any other person other than their pastors. Yes. But what about the pastors themselves? Did you try to talk to pastors themselves?
Yeah, I mean, I met a few pastors, not much, just a few of them, and most of them will not listen to you. They're not interested. They're not interested because what it is they're giving the people what the people want. You see, you know, there's a saying that the people have the leaders that they deserve. You know, Nigeria's become so corrupt that everybody wants that glamour lifestyle, that miracle, that quick get rich quick. So the pastors are selling that to them because that's what the people want. They're selling it to them. Most Nigerians want to oppress the next Nigerian. That's the funny thing about it. Most Nigerians have this mindset of oppressing another person. You know, so the wealth they gain is not necessary to help somebody. That's why, I mean, ask yourself, it's not that Nigerians don't have money. There's a lot of money in that country, but what it is they use their wealth to oppress their neighbors as opposed to uplifting their neighbors. That's the problem with Nigeria. Its wealth is for oppressing as opposed to using wealth to uplift people. That's the problem. So it's a big cancer in our society, really.
You are saying such profound truth, such a profound. In fact, I want every Nigerian to listen to these things you are saying. You know, every Nigerian needs to listen to this. And I want to ask if anybody is watching us right now and you want to contribute to this conversation, please go to Move Agents. Yeah, just go to Facebook Messenger, and look for Move Agents. Facebook Messenger, move agents, and write that I want to contribute. I want to contribute. So you don't call, just write that you want to contribute, and then we will call you back. Because, this is so much truth being spoken here today. It is, So the first person you started to listen to about this new move was that the Freeze, right?
Well, I've been listening to you. Remember I told you I've been listening to you since 2011. Around 2011, I've been listening.
But I had not started this crusade that time.
You hadn't started being militant that time yet. You hadn't started being militant, but I've been listening to you. Then after that, I heard Bishop Olaleye.
Yes.
Yes, he came to London. He was doing something called the Elijah Commission.
Yes.
So I think I saw it on TV and I went there because since my experience in 2006, anytime I come across, because I'll be at home and the Spirit will tell me, I used to watch a lot of gospel stations, and when I watch the stations, I'll be watching them and, I'll just hear the Spirit saying, look at them. They think they're mocking me, but they're mocking themselves, acting a fool because
you are talking of these Christian stations.
Yes, Christian stations, yeah.
But a lot of people don't even know that it's a lot of crap that they are showing there.
It's crap. I used to watch it, but I didn't watch it to edify me. I used to watch it because the Spirit used to say to me, look, they are mocking themselves. They think they are mocking me, but they are mocking themselves.
So-called Christian TVs.
Yes. I used to watch it and God would be showing me that, look, they think they are mocking me, but they are mocking themselves. And I was sitting and I was watching, and for me, it was like comedy. It was like comedy, you understand? So it was from there I saw Bishop Olaleye, and he had this Elijah Commission. I thought, oh, this is different. So I went to go and, because anytime I see somebody that's speaking against what's happening, I would like to be a voice of encouragement. I felt it was upon me to encourage them because I know what I was going
now through. I understand better. That is why you are able to recognize my distinctive voice, that this is a different voice from,
Yes. So when I hear those voices, those dissenting voices that were different, I would go and lend some support. So when I heard Bishop Olaleye, I went to go and meet him because he came to England and he was in the church doing the Elijah Commission, preaching against the nonsense happening in the churches. So I went to meet him and I introduced myself. And from there we became sort of, we got to know each other and all that, and I was around for a few of his programs, and then we lost contact for a few years. Obviously, I never met up with you because that time you hadn't really started speaking out against the falsehood in the churches, So I met him. Then, in the public domain, it was him. Then I think a lot of the guys now that are changing their ways. If you don't mind, I can call some names if that's not an issue. The likes of Abel Damina.
Yeah.
These were people that I hated with a passion. I have to be honest. Why I hated them? Because I hated people that were deceiving our people. And back in those days, he was a big prosperity preacher. He's changed his ways now, which is good. But those days,
he is not hiding it. He confesses it.
Yeah, he comes out openly and says it. So those days, but you see, the thing is because of this African pride, this is my belief, maybe because I didn't really live in Nigeria for too long. I believe regardless of how old you are, when you have misled people, you should come out and apologize. Yes, you must, because we must start. They do it. Japanese people are not Christians, but you will see their elders come out and apologize to the whole nation. You see grown men crying. It's not a bad thing. It is strength. You come out and you apologize to the people. Look, I'm sorry, I misled you guys. Don't just come out and tell us, I used to be a prosperity preacher, but now I have changed. No. Because you damaged a lot of lives when you were doing that. That thing damaged lives. So what you must come and do is you sit us down, you say to us, look, my children, I'm sorry. I was wrong. My teachers were wrong. I misled a lot of people. Please forgive me. But from now, I know the truth, and it's going to be the truth. That is fine. But you can't just come out, because what's happening now, you see, that's the problem we're having in Nigeria. We're quick to just say, the person has... No. If you're going to change, apologize to, because you misled us. You deceived the Lord, and that humility is part of calling yourself a man of God. If you cannot say sorry to the people you deceived, then we cannot respect you. Because how do we know these guys are not jumping on the bandwagon? Because they know something is happening. They know there's a wind of change. So a lot of people are probably just jumping on. I mean, imagine Mensa Otabil from Ghana, who was a big prosperity preacher with Matthew Ashimolo. You understand? He still is coming out talking about certain things to do with, prosperity preaching. And these were big prosperity preachers, but they won't come out and humble themselves and apologize to our people. We need these men to apologize for the damage they have done. This is the way I see it. They must come out and say, look, I'm sorry. But they're not ready to apologize, and our people, as usual, will.
Beautiful. Wow. Edward, you are really eating it. Do you have a earphone? Because there is going to be a caller now. Maybe so that you could hear what he's saying. If you don't worry. I will later tell you what he said. Hello, caller.
Are you talking to me? Oh, okay.
Hello, my name is Ebenezer Komolafe.
Yes, sir.
I'm calling from Toronto, Canada. How are you, Pastor?
Doing well. Trying our best to enlighten our people.
Yeah, it's been a while. I called directly, but I've been listening in the background. Thank you for your good work. That's what I want to say.
Wow.
Brother or Pastor Edward is a testimony to what you have been doing.
Yeah.
Some of us have not gone on YouTube or whatever, but we are also affecting life and passing on a lot of things that we've learned from you. Before I met you way back in 2014, I called before and I explained how I met you. And I did said, this, after I've basically written out most of Nigerian pastors, I could pick so much hole in most of them. And then I saw you being interviewed by one man from UK in your house. I think he was there for some weeks and he was interviewing you.
Yes.
And since that time, me and my wife has called like a couple of times. We've been looking for ways to pick hole in your message, and it's been so difficult. It's been so difficult. And I'm like, I just give up. I said, finally, I find a man that is because I consider myself to know the truth.
Yeah.
Even being grown up in Nigeria, I then went to Australia. It was in Australia that I found out that most of the things that were being told back home by these pastors are pure lies. Because just like Brother Edward just as enumerated, that when you leave Nigeria and you travel, and then you see people who are not Christian doing things that are Christ-like.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why back home we have all this. I mean, it's amazing. And I remember telling you that the last church we went to, me and my wife, was KICC.
Yes.
And before we even traveled to Canada, the last few months, I stopped standing up because it was so obvious that this is heresy. Every time, at the time, Pastor Ashimolo brought Mike Woodard, and then they will just give you very scanty message. There's no love in the message. There's no, not all the rudimentary things that you drag our attention to, which is exactly what the disciples, were focused on. They don't do it anymore. They don't do it. I traveled again to Nigeria, late last year, and I look at my friends who are educated, who are whatever, and just like Mr. Edward is saying here, the mentality and the value system of the society is completely skewed.
Oh.
People don't focus on the value system that is real anymore. It's all about money. Once you meet anybody in Nigeria, they'll first of all assess you by the way you dress and the way you look. And if you don't look glamorous and whatever, they will start thinking you are nothing.
Wow.
Even if you have a lot of money, for example, look at the wedding that look at Mark Zuckerberg came to Nigeria. He was dressed just like you were looking like this T-shirt.
Yeah.
And I can bet when you go to Nigeria, you that I know, you probably will wearing t-shirt most of the time because it's hotter there.
Yeah.
And you don't even care it's not about your clothes.
Yeah.
You know? But part of this problem we have is the system is everybody's so conscious of themselves.
Deceptive system.
Yeah. They want to look big. Oh my God. I don't know. And that's why when we were coming, me and my wife, we just said, never. We cannot go to Nigerian church anymore. I had good friends who, were counseling me, helping me here. I even stayed in my friend's house who had a redeemed church. Okay, he's my classmate. We finished university together. We were there for a few weeks before we got our apartment. When we moved to our apartment, I stopped going there and he got mad at me. But you know what we did? We used the love of Jesus Christ to change him. Me and my wife, we keep showing him love. We keep buying gifts, appreciating what he did. Because it's not easy for someone to put you in his house when you first arrive in a new country, And then we didn't, just look at what is getting him mad. But, don't let me take time. Some other people might want to call. I want to thank you. I want to thank Brother Edward. I'm going to look for you on Facebook if you're there, or YouTube.
Yes, he's on Facebook.
You're a man according to my kind. And I love to see people like this, And I just want to thank the whole DSA family.
Mr. Komolafe, maybe you would like to share your story sometime. Could you write me on Facebook so that we could invite you and your wife or yourself, so that people could hear your story, that we don't have to, it's not church that makes us Christians, that you can walk with God and not go to all these Nigerian churches and still be a Christian.
Yes, I can. Let me even tell you something.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, that my friend, he told me, for everything that is being preached and some mega redeemed church here, he asked me, because he was encouraging me to, maybe I will go to one of them. So when I listened to one of their major one here in Mississauga, and I started puncturing hole, and I started saying, why is he saying I will do this, he will do this, I do this? Why is all this thing? I went to their church. You know what? There's no library, but there's a bookstore.
Wow.
There's no library. No library for people to come and, nurture themselves in the things of God.
Whoa.
But there is bookshop to sell, and just sell and sell, and there's nothing. Anyway, I heard you, Pastor. I'll write to your team through the move agent. And
you could write me direct also.
Yes. I have your details.
Yeah.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you so very much. Greetings to your family.
Thank you.
Bye. Edward, I think you heard what the brother was saying.
I heard everything he was saying. I heard him,
We are still going to have another caller right now, but what do you have to say about what you heard?
I mean, what he's saying is true. He's just spoken it exactly how it is. It's really sad, what's happening in Nigeria. And the thing is, like I always say to people, it's not that we're saying that we're any better than anybody. I always say to people, because like I told you my story, I was just a regular guy on the street. You understand? But there's nobody God cannot use to bring about change. Yeah. But what he's saying is exactly what it is. Exactly how it is in Nigeria right now. No value, no morals, money is king. That is why we're in the state that we're in. I always said the biggest problem we have in Nigeria is the religious system.
Hello, yes.
Hello. Good evening, sir, DSA.
Good evening, who is calling from where?
Good evening.
It's Rose Roberts.
Rose Roberts, how are you today?
I'm blessed. Thank you, sir.
Yes, I want to hear your contribution.
Yes, Pastor. Why I called is because of what the brother was saying. And I really, really appreciate him, because all the things he's saying is just nothing but the truth.
Yes.
The thing there is that sometimes I don't even know what to call you. Either president of the world or president of Africa or the president of... I don't know what to call you, because that is when I think, I know that so many things that has been in my heart since I was young is what you are saying. All this time, even when I go to church, I will see these things. I will call one or two sisters. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? No, Christian race is individual. Christian race is individual. And I noticed, talking about the money that have influenced the whole of Africa, money issue is on the high side in Nigeria. When you don't have money in Nigeria, you are nobody. Even in Europe, among we Nigerians, people can do terrible things to make money. Nobody care to ask, how do you make this money? How come this money? No, oh, the person is rich. The person is rich. You will see a pastor. Okay, my former church, I was going to that church the day the pastor was preaching, and he didn't know when he said, yes, work of God is a business. It's a business. I was shocked. Then our eyes, met together. Immediately he changed. He said, yeah, you have to sow in the house of the Lord to get your blood. I said, wow. After that day, I got home. Each time I go to church, DSA, I go back home, I cry. I cry each time. I never had one joy one day since I've been going to African churches. Though I don't have one church I'm going to now, because since I stopped that church and I met you, first of all, I met Mayowa. And Mayowa said something that, touched my heart. I said, wow, who is this girl? Who is this girl? And because of that word she said, I just find peace within me again. Then through her, I start following you again. I say, what? So people are like this. People like this is still in this world. People like this. Dear, say you don't know what you've done to me. You don't know what your teachings, your messages has brought into my life. A great joy.
Glory to God.
Great
Glory
peace.
to God.
When I listen to you, even if I am going somewhere and I would try to at least hear one or two things, I will say, yes. Because it's just absolutely madness. These people, these things, I don't know what I will call them. They are just the highest fraudsters. The highest fraudsters. Pastors make voodoo for people to come to their churches. I traveled to Spain. We were walking on one street one day with a friend of mine. Somebody was at our front talking. Then my friend tapped me and said, listen to what this man is saying. And he has Bible on him. He was telling the man, Baba, you said that when I do the thing like this, a lot of people will come to the church. Look at today. It's not more than 20 people that came to the church and have paid you money for this. Why are you doing this? He started talking. Because sometimes some of our people in Spain, they think I'm South America. So they really don't know I'm in Nigeria. So I say, wow. Hey, this one a pastor juju to make people come to your church?
My God.
Everything this brother is saying is 99.9 positive. 99.9 positive. I told somebody, I said, when I will start my own program, because I fear nobody no more. I don't fear death anymore. I don't fear no human being except to the Almighty God. God is my life. He's my Father. He loves me more than anybody.
Glory to God.
Yes, say you have done so much to me that you will not understand. You won't believe it. Nigeria, the only time they know that you are blessed is when you have too much money. Even when the person is dying under sickness or dying under one kind of situation or one thing, as long as the money is there, that person is blessed before the eyes of Nigerians. So many of them, let me not generalize. I'm sorry for that. A lot of people don't care. I don't know how this life has turned into, and all these things are caused by the Pentecostal churches in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You suspect your friend, you suspect your brother, you go to church, pastor will tell you don't be too close to them because it's not the way you see them they are. You have to be careful, don't be too I mean, how can I go to church without being free with my brethren?
Yeah.
How can I go to church without loving people? Love is important in life. The most important thing in life is love. People love you for money. People love you because of what you have.
It's all about money.
But the moment you disguise for just a couple of months, you will see everybody. So I am not afraid of nobody. DSA, even I don't know what to say, because so many times I said it that anytime I want to talk to you, I have to put my words in writing first. Because so many things that I want to say, so many, and I know there is no time. DSA,
will you like to come to be interviewed also like this, like Edward is doing now? Can you write me so that we could also arrange an interview with you like this?
Yes, it's possible, Pastor. It's possible.
Since you say you are no more afraid.
I am not, Pastor. I am no fear nobody person. I not fear nobody. They can't do me nothing because I have pastors. I will stop their church when I greet them. They don't want to answer me. Pastor, I will see a pastor on the way because I stopped going to his church. He will not answer me when I say, "Oh, good evening, sir," or "Good evening, ma." They will just like giving me attitude. And me, I have this attitude already. So when you greet me, but I make sure anytime I see you, I must show you that love.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Even if pastor does not say hello, I must, anywhere I see them, I must say hello to them. I must hug them.
Yes.
What they have in mind is not my business. Because me, I fear nobody. I don't. Dear say, one single fear about human being is not in my eyes.
Yes.
No. But I have been talking, all these things you are saying. The first day I listened to you, dear say, I was rolling on the floor. I said, what? So somebody can come out and be open and wow. I sent so many of your videos to a brother today. He tell me, say, "Hey, Rose, hey, have you seen this man one-on-one?" I said, "No." He said, "I would like to see him. I will love to see him." He said the first man in this planet Earth that spoke the truth. That was what this man said. No, Jesus is his name.
Is he based in Nigeria?
He based in Deutschland, in Germany here. Yes, he lives in Germany here. He's from Ondo State. Yes. I said this evening, I called him as this program was going on. "Are you watching?" He said, "No, please send it to me because I'm not at home right now. When I get home, I will watch it." I said, "Don't worry." Don't worry, that is
this particular interview, we need to send it, everybody. I want to call on everyone to send this interview to all their contacts in Facebook.
Please, all DSA family, please. We should start working harder than the way we used to, because these people have damaged our country. A lot of things are happening. They will go to church. Pastor will tell them to go and sleep with a madman if they want to make money in a broad daylight.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God, DSA.
No.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Did I hear what you just said?
Yes.
Let me get my earpiece.
Then we go to pastor because they want to make money, they want to meet a rich man or whatever. The pastor will tell them, "Go and sleep with a madman. In a broad daylight, you will make money." Oh yes. Oh yes. This is 100%.
Things are bad though.
Nigeria has gone haywire. Nigeria is in short. Anyway, to tell people now, even in Germany, that I'm in Nigeria, the thing, but I'm managing. I'm managing.
Wow.
I'm managing because you go to church, they'll say, "Oh, you are not married." They frustrated me with marriage and having children issue in churches. I will go to church, they will not preach about the word of God. They will not teach me about the word of God. All they teach is you must marry. And the pastor's wife will call me and tell me, "Yeah, these days the devil is fighting marriages, so we have to be very hard in prayer." These people, they know nothing but to impart fears into people. For years, DSA, I was living in fear for more than 25 years of my life.
My God. People have suffered in the hands of these people.
Yeah.
God, my God, I have a friend now that pastor told that the mother cast, is it tortoise or that frog? I can't remember
Tortoise,
because I was not interested, into her stomach. I told this a friend, I said, when you were living in Europe, your stomach was as big as that. So why is it that when you went back to Nigeria, your mother will cast that thing into your stomach? I bet.
Hello?
Alone. It was pastors that made that woman and her mother to be cat and rat till date.
They don't talk.
They are living in one house, but my friend hates her mother more than anything. The mother hates my friend more than anything.
Because pastors have said the mother put something in the stomach, tortoise.
In the stomach, then they make her, she vomit out the toys. I don't know, God, oh, it's too much. Ew. It's too much. How can they live in?
I think we have to drive these people out of that country.
Ah, God. Hey, what is going on in Nigeria, dear? Say you will not believe it.
These people have spoiled that country.
Oh, God. You never trust nobody. You will see somebody with Bible. You as a sister or as a brother will go to his house or her house. The person will be monitoring you so that you will not poison him or her. The person will be no freedom in heart. People will come to my house and they will be telling me, how can you allow people to be entering your kitchen like this? How can you allow people to be doing this like this in your house? I said, but oh my God, how will I live? I don't know how to be careful. Talk less of somebody I invited to my house. Oh God. Dear say, Nigeria, in short, I will thank God Nigeria is not finished because God has brought you out.
No, we are going there by the grace of God. That country will go there.
Yes.
And I don't know, there is no force that will take me away not to go there. By the grace of God, I am going to finish
God is on your side. God is on your side, dear. Say, God is on your side. No man, no woman born of a woman can stop you because God is there for you. God is on your side. What is going on in our land is too much. Sometimes I cry. Sometimes I cry because it's not all those people they put in that condition alone. Even me was in that condition before.
Wow.
I was in that situation before. Suspect. Tomorrow they say your sister. Next tomorrow your brother. The following day your auntie. The other day your uncle. The other. My God. And they were pushing me. I'm not somebody that will hunt for marriage. I'm not somebody that say, if I don't have this, I must have this. No. No. What I want to must have is to have the heart of Christ in me.
Yes.
It's not by marriage. It's not by having children. It's not by making money. No, these are not my goal, but people fail to understand. They think I'm consoling myself. I'm not consoling myself because I know I'm a woman that loves good things. But when you talk to Nigerians, they will say, don't mind her, she's a failure. She's just talking because of this, because of that. But they know that I have the chance to get more than what they have. But it's not my goal. It's not what I'm pursuing. Yeah. I want the love of Christ to that is not to leave me an inch.
Yes.
But we oh God. A pastor in Germany, a pastor in Frankfurt, Christ Embassy pastor, was having more than 15 guys that is doing prostitution for him.
No.
Oh God. A pastor, Christ Embassy pastor, I forgot his name, he lives in Frankfurt. He was bringing girls. People were the other pastor, again, na Christ Embassy. Then they bring girls, Abia, the state speaker. They bring girls to make money for them. They carry drugs. Christ Embassy's pastor. Oyakilome's pastors.
This thing serious, oh.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. People's life is in jeopardy in Nigeria. Nigerians have lost it all. Why? Because they want to have everything. They want to have everything. Pastor tell me, say, women, when they look for husband, they send them go cemetery to go sleep. Pastor Miracle is his name. He lives in Lagos. Oh, yes. I told him, I said, if to go to cemetery will make me to have husband, I don't need husband for the rest of my life.
Burial ground.
I don't need it. Yes, burial ground. Yes. Naso in Kolam. Yes. Yes.
But that's witchcraft
Yes,
now.
a lot of them. But people don't understand. People don't understand. They want it all. They want to marry a millionaire. They want to make this one. They want to be like this. They want must for marriage and having children. People go, so many children they have in Africa is demonic children because they went to the wrong places to get those kids. Oh yes, all those children you have seen them having children here and there. You will see a woman, they will say go and sleep with a man. So many of them they sleep with mad people. It's not a story. Just to get pregnant. Pastor will say I have to sleep with you first because the anointing or the spirit.
Wow.
I have to sleep with you. Then your husband sleep with you, you get pregnant.
Are you serious?
What about if the pastor is sick? Then the woman will go back home and transfer that sickness to the innocent husband. What is wrong with we Africans? I don't know. Maybe because that word my father used to tell me when he said, "Good name is better than riches."
Rose,
Good name
you
is
don't
better
work
than
out. You
riches.
know so much of this information.
Them too plenty, DSA. Them plenty. Them plenty.
I think God is using the fact that you are single to help you know all this information, because since they are doing it to single women and women who want to have children.
Oh, Jesus.
No, Rose, I go interview you for this today, you know. I want to hear.
Yeah.
I want to hear more things that you they open my eye for here.
Plenty things, DSA, a lot. Because you've not been to Nigeria for some time now, you do understand. Oh my God. Somebody advised me to marry a man in Port Harcourt. I told the person, but I don't like the system. I like this man, but I don't like the whole thing, the whole system that is so. He said, don't bother. They're not they love them. Marry and to it belongs. Say you just married now. They're not they love them. I said, really? He said, yes. All this manipulation came from these whole pastors because they are not preaching what is
Just
supposed to make people to be conscious of what they are doing.
You don't need to love the person. Just
I don't
marry
need to
her
love the person. You just a lot of the women that are married today, they don't love their husband. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you will see a married woman that's supposed to be in bed with the husband, chatting on Facebook or chatting on WhatsApp. Who is that person chatting with? All the men are just like Odumod. Them don't mumu, they follow them. So that this thing, pastors will push you. At the time they were pushing people. All the guests were just running here, and any man when they see the carry go church, they say we want wed. Anybody do one wed. Is marriage the first goal in life? Something is really wrong. Something is, I don't know, maybe it's because of lack of awareness, because sometimes you talk with them, you know that.
No. You know what?
Yeah.
We are going to bring that awareness by the grace of God. We are going to put this message everywhere in Nigeria. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. Everybody will hear this thing in every home.
Amen.
By the grace of God.
Amen. They are still holding my brother's wife for hostage.
For where?
They are still holding for Nigeria. The churches is making her crazy. She goes to church every second of the day. And when she's going, she's telling the husband, we have to go. My brother told her that I should leave the money I want to go and make in a company to feed my children and take care of them in school. To follow you, go to that your church. No. I go to church on Sunday. My brother's wife, her own is on the high side now. Yes.
Because you won't go church.
They need plenty blessings. Now the team. Now the team. Now they hold on for work. Each time when they talk to him, I say, God, this internet limitation in Nigeria is making a lot of them not to realize. So sometimes, no matter how I talk, they still don't get it. No matter what I say, they still don't get it. Even some people, many people in Europe too, we are talking jargon. The day they will see me on video talking, they will say, hey, Rose have started again. Oh, hey, who go find Rose? How can a pastor be? All the women in the church, you will see them, they have more than 100 guests doing prostitution for them. Me, they talk, no, they live for Cologne, Rose Robert, they know me. They know me. They never brought that person to challenge me. I hand you over to German police. The crazy.
Wow.
No. You don't mess with me. You can't twist my brain. No. All those things I was going, calling all these pastors. Because of how people were pushing me. At your age. This one, that one. But it was not my mind. God in heaven knows. God is seeing my heart. God knows that this kind of movement is not for me. That is why when the first day I saw, it's short, I bless the day I met you, DSA. I bless the day I met you. I bless the day I met you.
Wow. Rose, thank you so much for calling in today. Thank you so very much. And I will be expecting you to come on. Write me. When you are ready to come on, you come. I will interview you. Thank you so much.
Yes,
God bless you, my dear. God bless you.
Bless you, sir.
Yeah. Bro Edward, you need to remove your earpiece now.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. So they don't finish the matter for us, so.
They don't finish. Rose finished it, But I understand what Rose is saying, and this is what these guys use. It's a culture and a tradition thing. I say to a lot of people, look, we are not all going to have the same things at the same time. Some people will have money before some other people. Some people will get married before some other people. Some people will have children.
But these are all trivial, earthly things, worldly things
that will come at. I always say to people at the end of it as well, there's nobody God does not love.
Going to the extent of sleeping with madmen, sleeping in the burial ground, having girls as prostitutes, as the business of the pastor, having them carry drugs. This is on the extreme side, though. And she's not lying, because I know she's not lying, because she's mentioning the name of the church.
Hello.
Oh, okay. Edward, wait. We have another caller. Okay. Hello.
Hello, yes, sir.
Yes, you should wear your. Yes, who is calling, please?
Kechi from Spain.
Kechi from Spain.
Yes, I'll call again today.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
Very good.
Good to hear your voice again.
We are hearing you very well.
All right, sir. Well, I want to thank you for the good job you're doing. You're really doing a great job. I'm really happy. I'm so grateful for what you're doing. Yes. I want to tell you that your message is going around. Although I don't call, but I'm doing work background, I'm in the background.
Glory to God.
So what happened? I just want to say a few things,
Yes.
I don't have much time. First of all, my personal life was transformed by listening to you on daily basis, because every morning I must listen to DSA, even at work. I'm at work now. I'm still working for Concern.
Yes, no problem.
But by the grace of God, I'm going to be delivered soon.
Amen.
And the second thing I want to thank you about is, I never complained to you that I do have bad dreams. My own bad dreams is the chronic ones. But for quite some time, everything is gone.
Glory to God.
Yes, it's a testimony. I really thank God for your life, for your messages. And the third one is the mindset. My mindset changed.
Yes.
The way I think, the way I do things before, because my mind was poisoned, it was polluted.
Yes. Hello? Hello, Nkechi?
Yeah. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Okay. So, as I was saying, I said that my mind was polluted.
Yes.
By all these pastors around me. So, knowing you have helped me to change my mindset.
Very good. Will you be willing to come also, so that we have a program with you like this?
I would have loved, but the problem is, because I'm still working with Uncle Sam, I can only come up Saturdays.
Yeah, you can write us, and then we could arrange one way or the other with our office here, with our studio.
Would I write? Is it on the Facebook?
Facebook, yes. You can write to me or you could write to our move agent the way you are calling now, and we could arrange for a time.
Okay, I will do that.
Yes.
So the next thing is also most of my friends, they left me, because even some of the pastors that I know before were very good friends. They said no more. Everybody, now I'm on my own. And I went to Germany. I went to Germany month of August with my children for a holiday. So the family, I went to visit the man of the house. I fought with him every day because the man is not using his senses. He take all the money that he have every time he take it to the church.
Wow.
But the wife and the daughter, he doesn't care.
He has been brainwashed.
So, I tell you. So what I did is that whenever he will be around, I put your program. I put your preaching. So he will be angry. One day he was angry with me. He said, "Is it not this one? Brother, there's one pastor they call Pastor Sam in Barcelona that he played all your video, all your old video, that you are like them also." I said, well, DSA that I know never said that he never did that before. But he did it, but whatever you think that he did, that he played, he said he's no more with them. So he has repented. Whatever that he did was in the past. So these are the fights I fought a lot, not only with him, with a lot of people. So what happened is that today they called me and said that the husband have gone to tell the pastor that he's not going to pay tithe anymore.
Wow. Miracle. Deliverance. That is deliverance, oh.
So he said that he wants to save his tithe, so he can use it and establish a foundation in Nigeria to help the less privileged ones.
Glory.
And to put some. I was telling the wife, if you can also train some children in the school, look for people that is on the street and then help them out. He said that's exactly what the husband said they will have to do.
Glory
that right
to
now
God.
they are paying the school fees of one girl now. I say, wow, this is great news.
Yes.
So I was so happy. So coming to Nigeria, I went to Nigeria in 2015. There is nothing like love in the churches.
Yes, yes.
No, nothing like that. The only thing that speaks in the churches is money.
Yeah.
If you have money, you have fame. If you have money, then you have fame. Pastors will love you. Everybody will be around you because of money. But the moment that money finish, you're on your own. So that is what I discovered in Nigeria churches. Another thing is self-centered. There are a lot of people, a lot of Nigerians are self-centered.
Yes.
Many of them, everywhere, they just want for themselves.
Yeah.
They don't care about another person. Even though the person is dying beside them, they don't care. Just themselves is the only thing they want.
Sad.
A lot of witchcraft in the church. Like the last caller said, everything that she said is truth.
Wow.
So many witchcraft going on in the church. People want to get healed, but they don't want to know where the power.
Wow.
I witnessed that one too. They say they don't care where the power comes from. All they want is they want to get healed. As simple as that. They don't care. So that is the thing. So I wanted to buy some books. I go to Gmail. I type for DSS books. I don't know if I'm right.
Yes.
I was not granted access.
It's supposed to be DSS books, one word, DSS books at gmail.com. DSS books at gmail.com.
I'll still try again.
And you need to write a letter to us through that, and then that is how you send it to us, and then somebody will get back to you.
I'll try again because I was denied access 3 times.
Yeah, because it's not a Facebook, it's not a site, it is email. So it's like letter. We are showing it on the screen now. It's a letter you have to send to us.
Okay.
Yes.
So another thing I wanted to say is like in Nigeria, there's so many evil going on. So many evil. So, but I don't know how this evil is gonna end because everywhere is evil, And people, they don't care about anybody at all.
Wow. Well, by the grace of God, I
And
believe...
another thing is that I also...
Yes.
Yeah. You were saying something, sir.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I said that I also teach with your items, sir.
Good. Good. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The last time I was invited in a church, all the materials I have on my head is what I use in the church, and it was so great. I don't go to church, but they sometimes invite me to come and teach. If they have women program, they invite me to come and teach on the women. I do go. I honor the invitation, but not all. I do, like on the 16th, I have one coming.
Please go and take the material.
The last one I went.
Go and take the material and use all the material. That's the way to bring freedom. That's the way to bring freedom to them.
So great.
Yes. Thank you so much, Nkechi. And please let us know anytime you are ready to come on. We invite you on.
Yeah, but I want to make a request.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The request is, can you please be the president of Nigeria?
That one passed me. Oh.
Because I keep telling my husband, I said,
you are the second person saying that today alone.
Okay, I always type it too. Maybe you don't read my comments. I say you are the president Nigeria is waiting for.
Make you pray about
you
it.
You cannot run away from it, yes, sir.
You pray about it. I too will be praying.
You see, you know one thing, yes, sir. God always do things for a reason. When you were flying everywhere, we don't know you.
Yes.
When you were going from one country to another, we don't even know you.
Yes.
But God now said, no, there are people that you need to reach.
Yes.
And if I leave this man to be flying like this, these people, they will perish. You see what happened now? God now bring you down.
Yes. and thanks to that, God is now making you people to hear this gospel. God's wisdom is different from our own. Maybe it will happen. Yes. Who knows? Make you pray about Nigeria. I too go to pray.
I will.
And we'll see what God will do about it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Blessings. Thank you so much.
One more thing before I drop. One more thing.
Yes.
Sir. One more thing. There's one pastor that I always listen to before. This pastor so much.
Yes.
I do listen to his message.
Yes.
In fact, before I know you,
yes.
Before I knew you, I do listen to his message every morning when I'm walking.
Yes.
And in the evening when I'm walking too. So one day this man now preached something that make me to not to watch him anymore. When he said that anointing flows from the head, that you people like to give to the poor. And when you give to the poor, you will remain like death. But when you give someone that is on top, you will be like the person that you give. I was
manipulators.
I said, so this is the person I've been listening to all this while. Since that day, I love the man, but since that day, it's more than almost 7 months or 8 months. I've never go to his blog anymore.
Wow.
That was just that.
You don't get freedom now. God don't set you free, make you remain free.
Yes. Yes, so I'm free for life, forever.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I will be expecting you on the program anytime you are ready.
It's well, sir. I will.
God bless you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Yep. Well. Yes. So, Edward, your message today has started revolution. Oh, people are still calling, even up to now. People still are still wanting to call.
The revolution it has started.
It's going on, yes.
It has definitely, you know, those days the Spirit used to tell me that this day will come.
I want to tell everybody that is watching, we have the next History Makers training in November. If you want to come for this HMT History Makers training, please write to HMT at God Embassy. You know, don't be late because it's going to be revolutionary. And for those of you who want to be receiving our messages, you see the WhatsApp number. Just send your number to us or number of your relatives to this WhatsApp number on the screen, and we will be sending you the messages. Okay, anybody still on call? Do we have a caller right now?
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, DSA.
Yes, who is calling from where?
This is Mabel Chinwe, DSA.
Shinwe.
Yes.
Nice to receive from you.
DSA. First
Yes.
and foremost, I think you're hiding who you are. Are you sure you're a human being?
Yes.
Hey, okay. Whether you're a human being or not, I'm happy I'm on your side. So whatever you then let me start from here. Blessings to you.
Amen.
And to your wife, I don't know what to say. She is something else.
Yes.
Blessings to her and your children.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having answers for this generation and the generation unborn.
Glory.
Because I've been so afraid with the teachings in the church that I've been hearing. I said, one day our kids will rise up to ask us questions and we don't have answers. But thank God we have answers now.
Yes.
Even when I talk with my children, they're like, wow, where are you coming from?
Wow.
I never had answers to give them before, but now I have. Thank you so very much.
Wow. Wow.
There's this story used, and one thing again, that we are not showing our face doesn't mean we are afraid. Afraid for who? We are not afraid.
Yes.
Maybe we are walking, or maybe we are yet to shower. That's why we are hiding our face, not being afraid. So remove not showing face as being afraid. No.
Maybe one day, Mabel, maybe one day we'll bring you also. If you are ready, let us know. We'll bring you on because you are the most active person on Facebook on that platform now. You are sharing 20 times every message. You are unique.
The irony of it all is that they never fooled me because I never believed in them. So I don't even have all this horrible experience because I never believed them.
Wow.
I never believed them, so I don't have this horrible experience.
No, you don't have to tell us only about bad experience. You can tell us about how your life has changed since you started listening to us.
Okay, that I will do one day.
Yes.
That I will definitely do. Then there's this story you said about ANEGBEH.
Yes.
That where talks matter, you will talk, he will sit down.
Yes.
And you said you're like, should I have said this? I don't think I should have said it.
Yes.
No, you have to, because
Yes.
they need to hear it. Since their brain they've damaged their brain, they need to hear such things so that they will know that, wow. Because you know why I'm saying this? There was a day you were having an interview and you said some Nigerians are calling you to be president. I'm like, no. This person saying this thing and people are calling on him must be something else. That's how I started following you. I said, I have to listen to this person. So such stories, they need to hear.
Okay.
For you to see that I only heard that you need to, that some people are calling you to be president. I'm like, in Nigeria of the one I know, and somebody is being called to be president and he's hesitant about it, there's more to this person.
Wow.
Then I said, let me listen to him. And now I'm like, oh my God.
Wow.
This is a hidden treasure. Thank you so much. There are things you need to speak. Don't even think that maybe they think I'm boasting. Even if you don't boast, even if you don't boast, they say it as it is. Don't fear anybody.
Mabel,
So
you are
much
just
happy
precious.
about who
You are just precious.
And again, please, you gonna be the president of that country. I don't know how it's gonna be, but it has to happen.
Wow.
You are my president already.
Wow.
You have my vote. If they're doing it by vote, I'm there. If they're doing it by lining up, I am there. So count me as one of your disciples. Thank you so much.
Wow,
and thanks so many of those that are following
you are just so precious. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. My greetings to everybody and to your wife in particular and the kids.
Yes.
Thank you so much, DSA.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Wow, wow, wow. Mabel is so passionate. She shares these messages into 20 groups every day. We have the next caller already? No, okay. Hello, Edward.
Yes, sir.
Are you hearing all the... You see the trouble you have caused?
It's not It's not me, sir.
Mabel has already shared this message into 20 Facebook groups.
It's the spirit flowing, sir. It's the spirit flowing. You know, I set up something in Nigeria just when I was in Nigeria about a few months ago.
Yeah.
Just a quick one, just in case. I set up a little charity thing called the Bridge Project.
Okay.
Because I believe as much as Nigeria is bad, if we can all give back.
Yes.
You understand? I think giving back is very important. Like I said earlier, part of the reason why some of us came out of Nigeria is to come and learn and give back.
Beautiful.
You understand, you know, because we can't just continue to complain and talk about how bad it is and we're not contributing anything to at least help those that we left behind.
Yeah.
So I set up this thing called the Bridge Project, which basically is moving people from doom to light,
yeah,
from sadness to happiness,
yeah,
so crossing the bridge. So the whole idea of the Bridge Project is, you know, fixing dilapidated schools, setting up medical outreaches in poor communities.
Can you put his contact right now, his telephone, so that people will be able to get in touch with him?
Yeah. So the first thing I did, the first school I worked on was in Abuja, because, you know, I stay in Abuja when I'm in Nigeria. So I tried to raise funds for that, but the funds didn't really come through. So I obviously had to use my money to do the school, do their roof, because the roof was leaking and all that. So what I will do is I'll encourage a lot of Nigerians that however you can give back, it's very important to give back. Even if nobody comes to join, it might be something small. It might be as small as setting up a borehole. It might just be, you know, buying school shoes for some children. Whatever you can do to give back something.
Beautiful.
Because you're taking people out of poverty. So whatever we can all give back. So I'm not saying anybody join me. I will continue to do what I can myself, but it's important that other, you know, faith without works is dead.
That we all at least try to do something.
We all try to do something. You know, if you can't do it alone, get a group of people, come together with a group of people. It might be in your little village.
Oh, sorry. They say, hello, do we have a caller? Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Who is calling from where?
This is Excel Okosun, calling from Germany.
Excel, you've been trying to call for some time now, eh?
I've been trying to call, and today is like a miracle to me. I'm very happy that my call is going through now. I just came back from work.
Yes.
And I said, let me see if you are online. Because whenever I come back from work, I will always check if you are online.
Wow.
And I was excited that you are online. I decided to say, okay, let me put a call.
God just answered your prayer. God put the miracle through for you today.
I'm very happy, sir.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
Very good.
Okay. I've had a lot that I want to share with you, a lot of experience, and I'm a living testimony to all you have been teaching and all that. Yeah, I used to be Christ Embassy member.
Okay.
And then I get to know you. I did not know you through this platform. I've known you for like more than 7 years now through Christ Embassy.
Okay.
Because over then, like 7 years ago when I was still in Nigeria, I was a sales representative there. I was the one selling ministry material in one of the satellite church of Christ Embassy, Ojudu Bega.
Okay.
Yeah, and then most of the time in our satellites, they used to play DSA messages, and they talk about you, how you've gone far in your ministry, how you've affected the European people. So that was how I get to know you.
Wow.
But after many times, we were not listening. I was not listening to you because the message of Christ Embassy, the message of Pastor Chris overwhelmed me. Not knowing that I was listening to going to the wrong direction. Sorry to say, going to the wrong direction, because at the time when I got to school myself into the doctrine of Christ, I use this word, the doctrine of Christ, because a lot of pastors, when I try to bring the Bible to them and say, this is what the Bible says, they will always try to correct me wrongly and say every church has their doctrine. But this one word I always say within myself, because I don't have this boldness that you are having to confront them. The word I always say within myself is any church that is having its own doctrine outside the doctrine of Christ is a shrine.
Yes, it's a cult.
I would always say with me, because all churches are supposed to be founded on the doctrine of Christ, not different church.
Yes.
When I go to a church, A church, B church, C, I'm expected to see the same doctrine. But they will tell us that every church has their doctrine.
Deception.
So in Christ Embassy, yes, that's deception, sir. In Christ Embassy, I was living in a church. I got to Christ Embassy as a homeless person. I got to Christ Embassy as a homeless person. There is a pastor there, Pastor Daniel Shodiya, who was the pastor before they transferred him and brought another pastor. He accommodated me in that church because I have nowhere to go, nowhere to sleep, nowhere to lay my head as a young boy of 19 years old. Then I started staying in church, living and sleeping in the church. When everybody goes, I will sit on top of the altar. I'll be crying. Nobody to play with, nobody to talk to. Sometimes, Nigeria light, they don't used to have electricity. The whole place will be dark. I will sit on top of the altar. The whole mosquito will deal with me. So from there, before they come to church every morning, I will make sure. I was thinking you are.
Oh, you are there. Okay. We hear you now.
Okay, all right. So then later on, when the pastor that accommodated me in that church was transferred, they brought another pastor.
Yes.
So the pastor when the pastor stayed in that church for like a year, he gave me quit notice. Me and my friends that was living in the church, we were a member of the church. We were cell leaders. So the pastor has to give us quit notice to leave the church. That is not proper for people to live in the church. So everybody find a place to go. Wow. I was only remaining. I didn't have any place to go because those people that were living together with me in the church, they have relatives around Lagos.
Yes.
But I have nobody. So by reason of that, I didn't have anywhere to go. So when he gave me 2 weeks quit notice, the 2 weeks was exhausted. I still have nowhere to go. I came to meet him and told him that I have little money. If the church can assist me. The church, they never assisted me. And funny enough, what they did to me, the way they kicked my ass out of the church, I was coming in the night around past 12 because the church, there's a padlock. They used to lock that church.
Yes. So
I put the key the church gave to me to always open the church whenever I come in. I discovered that they've changed the padlock and bought another padlock and padlock it. So that key couldn't open it that night. So I have to go and sleep in the streets. And then I know when the pastor used to go to work, he always leave the house by 7. So I went to his house. I met him in his house. I was crying. He didn't want to see my tears. He just took his head up, looking up the ceiling. I was begging him that, please, they should give me some time. But there's one lady called Sister Tone was there with him in the house. So he asked Sister Tone to give me the key to assist me to the church so that I will go and take my things away from the church.
Yes.
That was how I actually left the church. After everything, and thank God I found my way out as a young boy because I went into laundry and dry cleaning services, and with all that, I was doing well and all that.
Excel. Can you write me about this thing so that we could invite you to interview you also on the program like this one day?
Okay, that would be good.
Write me.
That would be good.
So that we can talk more about it.
And we also like to talk about the deception that is going on here also.
And that's why I said we should do a special program with you so that you could talk in details.
Okay then.
Let's do it like that because the time is over now and another program is starting already.
Okay. So I will write to you whenever, I don't know when you are always on.
My secretary, one of my assistants, when you write now, will get back in touch with you. Just include your WhatsApp number there. They will get in touch with you and you will arrange.
Okay then.
No problem. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Excel. Blessings.
Bless you.
Yeah. Bye. Yeah. Wow. Bye. Today's program is just unique. It's gone over the board. Just over the board. We are supposed to have finished 40 minutes ago. In fact, I have to thank Edward and everything just, I'm sure so many people still want to call, but it's just we cannot just do anymore because the next program is supposed to be starting now on how to know God and be a friend of God. So sorry, everybody, we just have to stop this program. It's gone for too long, and yeah. So we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. So we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone. Blessings.